Hello there, my name is Elizabeth. I'm the custodian of a very special little teddy bear. His name is Fritz, and he has a very remarkable story to tell. This is Fritz. So Fritz is known by his friends as Fritz the refugee bear, because like a lot of people right now, Fritz was a refugee. He was born in Germany. His oral history says that he was born sometime right before the First World War, and that his German family fled from Germany to Hungary, and we're not quite sure if it's the same family, different generation, or if it was a different family entirely, but he was with a Jewish family for World War II, and once again, he was a refugee in hiding. So he was in Buda, Hungary, and there was a little house, and it was bombed out, and his family was hiding in the basement. So that was where Fritz spent out World War II. I got him from a collector who I believe got him from that family. So he's a little bit removed from the family, but not very much. I don't know if any of them are still living, since he's been away from them for now about 15 years. But since he is a special bear with a very special story, some friends of mine have decided together that we are going to do a special auction, and we're going to make Fritz's legacy continue. So we are going to be sending money to the UK DEC, which will be sending food and money and supplies to the families in Ukraine that are also refugees, just as Fritz is. We're also going to send money to War Child, and that affects all the children that in different countries around the world who are refugees and who are living through the wars and they need help. And then, since he's now living here in the United States with me now, we've also decided to send children the money to the St. Jude's Cancer Research Hospital. So that is completely all for children, so Fritz can have that legacy continue on into the present day. In order to send all this money, my good friend Baker-Muir and I are working on the fundraiser together. B is making 10 look-alike cousin Fritzes that will be replicas of the real Fritz. And I'm making 10 quilts to go with all of the replica bears, because what refugee does not have a blanket? So these are going to be, your bears will look like Fritz. They will have this wonderful waistcoat and hat that B has designed for Fritz and for his cousins. And then I've designed this quilt. And the quilt also tells Fritz's story, because in World War I Germany, the flag was black, white, and red. That later changed for World War II, but Fritz came from the World War I era, and that's the Germany that he lived in before his family had to flee. So that is here in the quilt for the first 3 bands of the quilt. Then he went to live in Hungary, and your colors for the Hungarian flag are red, white, and green. And then now he lives here in the United States with me. So we have the Stars and Stripes for America. And since he lived with a Jewish family, instead of trying to fit 50 stars that the U.S. flag has, there is 1 Star of David for his Jewish ancestry on the flag. So we will be sending out to lucky winners who win the auctions for these 10 Fritzes. Everyone will get 1 cousin Fritz and 1 flag quilt. The quilt will be slightly smaller than this one is. This was my prototype, so it'll be a little bit smaller, but it'll still be a substantial size quilt. It'll be big enough for your cousin Fritz to be wrapped in it. But here's the catch. We need your help before we can start getting the project really 100% underway, because mohair and excelsior and fabric all come into money. So what we need is your support, your help, so that we can afford to buy the supplies to make the Cousin Fritz's and to make the quilts. So first step would be to help us out with this GoFundMe and support us in our efforts to keep Fritz's legacy alive and to help children all across the world to feel the love and the care that they deserve, that Fritz spent 100 years giving to his families. So if you could please help us and support us in this, we would really, really appreciate it. For myself, Elizabeth, for Fritz, and for our lovely friend Bee, who restored him to full health at Christmas time. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and please give as much as you can. Be as generous as you can. Whatever money that we raise for this GoFundMe that is in excess of our supplies that we need to do this, that'll go towards the UK DEC Fund, the War Child, and St. Jude's Research Hospital. So give as much as you can, and we do thank you. Bless you. Goodbye.